possibly the most significant update to the Old World edition of Total War Warhammer, alongside the inclusion of Bretonnia in the Grand Campaign, is the revamp to their unit roster. Some excellent changes have come about, not only with the new units, but also the reworking of their existing units in order to balance out the roster across the board. And today we're going to take an in-depth look at all the new units that have been added to see exactly what improvements have been made and why the fleshing out of their armies has now made them a force to be reckoned with. And also yesterday, Creative Assembly announced the patch notes for the update. Wow, they are pretty impressive, I can tell you. By far one of the best updates we have seen for the game, and to be honest with you, I'm not really surprised, as it was the same with the Emperor edition for Rome 2. Big improvements were made there, and it is the same with this one. This could possibly be one of the last major patches we'll get to see for Warhammer, so we'll link it down below. I definitely recommend you give it a read. And also don't forget guys to sign up to Total War Access if you want to get the Bretonnian update 24 hours early on the 27th of February. And don't forget guys, it is completely free if you own the game already. The Old World Edition will cost you not a single penny. Right then guys, let us begin. Let's take a look at all these units, but by God I am impressed so far. I think the Bretonnian update, the new units are really good. Really nice improvement, one of the best improvements I've seen for the game to date really. So yeah, let's take a look at them unit by unit and see what they have to offer. So we'll start off with the Battle Pilgrims. Now these are not the best infantry unit that the Bretonnians will have to offer, but still quite a capable unit in the field. If you want to compare them to existing units in the game, I would say probably zombies for the Vampire Council, Orc Boys for the Greenskins, and Swordsmen for the Empire. As I say, not the best, but still quite good in terms of what they can offer. Melee attack, not too bad. Melee defense 28, still okay. Weapon strength could be a little bit better, but again, it's not too bad. Leadership is quite high, and their armor isn't too bad either. But what they have got, of course, is the frenzy ability, which will give them plus 12 weapon damage, plus 8 melee attack, and 8% to charge bonus, and immune to psychology as well. So, as I say, they will fight for a good duration of the battle. Leadership will keep them going. There is a unit particularly which will help them, which we'll take a look at in a bit. But yeah, as I say, on their own, not too bad at all. So secondly, we've got the Peasant Mob, and these really are the weakest unit in the Bretonnian roster for infantry. Don't expect much from these guys. They are pretty much cannon fodder. Just send them in there in numbers to try and harass the enemy, to try and keep them at bay. But apart from that, I would not rely on them for anything else at all. They are expendable, as it says. Melee attack's quite low. Melee defense is very poor. Armor 15, very low as well. So you can't really expect much from them at all in terms of ability. So next up is the Foot Squires, and these are definitely by far the top tier infantry unit for the Bretonnians. Very capable warriors in the field of battle. You can see there they've got their huge two-handed great swords essentially. So yeah, definitely straight away you would make a direct comparison between them and the great swords of the Empire, the dual-handed weapons. Obviously you can see there causing a lot of damage. They are a damage dealer unit. They're anti-infantry and they are armor piercing as well. Hard hitters, so definitely send them in to smash through infantry lines quickly, and will make it a very effective job of doing such. And you can see here, the melee attack is a little bit weaker. Melee defense is a little bit weaker than the great swords in comparison, but still they are quite high in terms of armor and leadership. Weapon strength is good. Obviously you can see their bonus versus infantry, and they've got the armor piercing damage, so you can see they will be probably good against units like the dwarves, and the damage dealer obviously helping out massively with them. So yeah, Foot Squires, definitely recommend using them in the battle as much as possible. Now here we go guys, behold the Grail relic. Now okay, it looks rather hilarious in terms of its appearance. It's obviously an old Grail Knight that's had the blessing of the lady even in death. But yeah, it looks quite hilarious. However, by God, does it offer a large support in battle. This is what it is support infantry, but what it gives to you, its magical aura, is pretty impressive. The icon of devotion gives 16 plus leadership in I think it's a 40-meter radius of its unit to infantry, or to support infantry units. So that is a massive plus for units like the battle pilgrims, the peasant mob. That will make a very big difference, a very big positive difference in terms of the battle and the way your units fight out. They will hold for a lot longer periods of time if you have the Grail relic in your army. So that magical aura there obviously helping out big time. Now, in terms of what else it can do, obviously it is very weak. I would keep it away from the fight. It's not going to be a unit that you can really send in and expect it to cause much damage with. But in terms of obviously what it can give in support, as I say, it is massive. The peasants revere him, even though he's dead. They look up to him as a sort of a higher being, and so, as you say, that's why this leadership buff is in there. But plus 16, as I say, I think is pretty impressive for them. So yeah, that is a definite, if you can, get this unit into your army to help out with keeping these weaker units of yours in the battle for longer periods of time. So now we've got the Peasant Bowman. Now we've seen the Peasant Bowman, of course, before in the old roster. No change there. But now we've got the two new variants. We've got one here, the Pox Arrows. So as the name suggests, these are going to be units that will deal damage to enemies' health points with the poison attacks that they can give. They've also got the good range to them, so keep them away from the battle far away as you possibly can. They will still get the range to fire into the enemy, because obviously with them being peasants, they've still got the poor leadership. I've also got poor accuracy as well, which is, I think, a little bit of there's been a bit of a reduction in that, because I think before the updates came in, these peasant bowmen were quite powerful, a little bit too powerful, so they have reduced that slightly to make them a little bit more balanced. So yeah, keep them away from the battle, keep them firing as long as possible. They will get the damage done to the health points of the enemy, but as I say, don't get them in melee combat, because they will get hacked through quite quickly. So now looking at the fire arrow variant. So again, like the Pox Arrows, these are new to the Bretonnian roster. Still, they've got the good range. They are weak against armour, poor accuracy again, and poor leadership. But what they will do, as you can see there, they've got the flaming attacks. These units inflict flaming attacks, which can do additional damage against units that are vulnerable to fire. So hopefully will reduce enemies' leadership levels and cause some significant damage when possible against enemy forces as well. So here we've got the men-at-arms, and we've seen again, like the peasant bowmen, these guys have been in from the start, but now they've got the shield variants with them. So pretty much like the battle pilgrims, they are sort of slightly better, of course, than the peasant mob, and will hold their own for quite a significant time in battle. They are shielded, so they will, as I say, that will help with them fighting on for longer periods of time and keeping up their defensive lines, but they've still got the poor leadership, which will play into the enemy's hands. So their melee attack isn't too bad. Melee defense is 34 with that shield variant, so a slight improvement from the non-shielded version. So yeah, all in all, not too bad, but don't rely on them for too much if you are going to fight with these guys. You want to probably use the foot squires for longer duration and for longer periods of the battle, I should say. So here we are, guys. Now we're getting into the meaty part of the new units for Bretonnia, the knight units, and we know that their strength lies in their cavalry, and these guys are no exception, the knights errant. So these are anti-infantry, armoured and shielded. Now in terms of obviously their appearance, look absolutely beautiful, no denying that at all. Anti-infantry, obviously that's going to be very good, plays into their hands. In terms of a comparison with them, you're looking at that sort of Knights of the Realm, another unit obviously that's been in the Bretonnian roster for since the start of the game. They're slightly weaker than them, and because the Knights of the Realm also offer the ability to have anti-large with them. So anti-infantry obviously is very good. You can really use them against sort of swordsmen, units of that nature, for the enemy. But still, they're slightly weaker than the Knights of the Realm. Slightly less expensive as well, I believe. But again, as I say, slightly weaker as well. What they do have as well is the unit or the lance formation, which is like a diamond wedge formation. So obviously that will improve, as you can see there, charge bonus, charge speed, de-acceleration and acceleration. So really will improve that impact, that charge bonus against enemy infantry units especially. So that's a nice addition to have. So pretty much like them and the Knights of the Realm have both that ability in their disposal. So these are the questing knights. So like the knights errant, these are anti-infantry. However, these have got the armor piercing ability, obviously because they've got the big two-handed weapons, much like the foot squires have got. Tell you what though, this must be pretty hard for these guys to ride their horses when they've got this massive greatsword, alongside them. That must be a pretty good skill to have, I can tell you that. So armoured as well. These are going to be great. Units like the dwarves, armor piercing, anti-infantry, that's going to be a really good unit to bring to the battle, especially against units of that nature. I would sort of compare them to the Black Knights of the vampire counts. Slightly better as well stat-wise in a number of areas. So yeah, these are going to be a unit you want to try and bring to the battlefield because of what they can achieve, what they can do against the enemy, and as well, they're not the most expensive cavalry unit that the Bretonnians have got. So a nice balance between them. As I say, what they can offer is pretty impressive. So behold the Grail Guardians, not only the best cavalry unit for Bretonnia, but for me one of the best cavalry units in the whole entire game. These, when you want to compare them, look at Blood Knights for the vampire counts, also one of the best, most effective units in the game as well, but they are even better than them. They have better leadership of +20, better speed of +5, better armor of +10, and better melee attack of +2. And what these have got, I love this. I absolutely love this. They are classed as living saints. Knights who have sipped from the Grail are elevated above mere mortals. They truly are what is best in men. I love that. These must be people or men that are looked up to in the Empire. That these guys in Bretonnia are the elite. These are the creme de la creme of Bretonnian knights. So yeah, these are absolutely superb. They are quite expensive, but by God, if you have them in your army, they are very, very effective. Those stats are excellent. The fact that they're better than the Blood Knights is an achievement on its own, because I think the Blood Knights are superb. And can you imagine having these in battle? You've got your strong two-handed foot squires holding the line with that strong ability that they've got to hold and keep fighting on, damage dealer ability that they've got. Having them holding the infantry at bay and then getting these guys to attack from the rear would be an awesome sight to see. Hopefully I can try and get that in this battle today. But yeah, superb to have them in your army. And of course I have got them in my Carcassonne campaign. Faye, the enchantress, does have these guys as one of his starting units, as one of her starting units I should say. And boy are they powerful. Very, very, very good unit to have. So here we've got the Royal Pegasus Knights. So in terms of their appearance, they look pretty much like the Pegasus Knights. Not much difference at all. Obviously the Pegasus Knights have been in the game from the start. But these are the Royal Pegasus Knights. So these offer slight improvements in terms of stats. They also have got the Living Saints ability, just like the Grail Guardians. They've got higher weapon strength, melee defense, melee attack and charge bonus. That compared obviously to the Pegasus Knight variant. They're very fast and obviously anti-large as well, so they will be very, very effective when you're looking at sending them in against giants, trolls, etc. So yeah, definitely a nice unit to have in your roster. So here we go, we've got the Royal Hippogriff Knights here, and these are again an exceptional unit to have in your army. One particular reason why is because of their weapon strength. 114, that is huge. That is up there with giants' weapon strength. They are big hitters, and they can cause significant damage to the enemy. Good leadership, good armor, and the speed as well is pretty impressive. So yeah, I am very impressed by these units. Obviously they cause terror, which will help massively in battle, and as well their armor piercing, so they could be very effective again against units like the dwarves in battle. So definitely the Royal Hippogriff Knights are a nice addition to the roster. They look absolutely superb in their great flying mounts. And yeah, just all in all, an excellent addition. That weapon strength is absolutely massive. So this is the Blessed Field Trebuchet. The Field Trebuchet we've seen obviously before, but this is the Blessed version. This is because this fires out holy water from its trebuchet, and this is good because this can cause ethereal damage from its magical attacks to the enemy. Forces like the vampire counts would be good to fight against when you've got this sort of unit in your army. So now behold the Green Knight, the wonderful new hero for Bretonnia. This is a melee specialist, a very, very powerful hero, and one of the most expensive heroes in the game. I think about 2,300 gold is the cost to recruit this unit, and there's no surprise as to why that is the case, because as I say, it is very, very powerful indeed. It is a melee expert, it's ethereal, it causes terror, it's got the magical attacks with its melee attack, and it also has this Dolorous Blade, which gives a significant increase in melee attack and weapon damage. So really, you know, that is your high elite hero that you want to try and bring to every single battle, because him alone can make so much difference in battle. And I think as well, yeah, this is right, it's got Sacred Guardian, so it replenishes hit points of combatants, and it's only the case if this unit is in the forest that it will actually heal like this. If it's not in the forest, it won't replenish its hit points, but if it's in the forest, in obviously Treeland, it will replenish its hit points. That's quite an interesting mechanic to try and use. Obviously, if you're going to be using this in a forest sort of battle in the lands of Bretonnia, then this is a perfect map, or a perfect map to be using it in. The Blessing of the Lady, so that gives it 20% physical resistance, unbreakable, you know, all these sort of units we see, all these sort of stats I should say, or abilities we've seen before. Vanguard deployment and courage, causes terror, fear, and physical resistance. So yeah, the Green Knight, an essential recruitment for your army. So last but by no means least, we had the Fey Enchantress. So we've seen her already, of course, in the start of my Carcassonne campaign, which I began yesterday. If you haven't watched that already, go check it out, give it some love. But I thought I'd bring her to this battle as well today. She's one of two new legendary lords for Bretonnia. Of course, the third is Luan Leonker. We've seen him many times before, so we've got her, and we've also got Alberic of Bordelot, and I'll be covering him in a separate video on the channel in the next couple of days. I thought I'd give him some exposure separately for you guys to enjoy, so go check out that video when it comes out. But yeah, the Fey Enchantress, as you can imagine, is a spellcaster. She deals with the law of life. She's got spells very similar to them of the Wood Elves. She's got Awakening of the Wood. She's got Earth Blood. She's got Flesh to Stone. She's pretty good for armor, 60 plus armor. That's pretty impressive. Shield of Thorns. She's got Regrowth, and she's got the Dwellers Below, which is one of my favourite spells of the Law of Life. So hopefully I can try and initiate that in this clash today. She's very fast, so she can manoeuvre, especially on her mount. She can manoeuvre against the enemies quite quickly. She's not too bad in terms of melee combat. She will hold her own for quite a substantial time, and melee attack is 34, but she's got magical attack, so she's quite good there. Weapon strength is 300, so that's not too bad. She's also got the aura and the Mist of the Lady, which will give a nice buff to magical resistance. And then, where's the aura? The lady's gone. missile lady, sorry, can give a nice debuff to melee attack for the enemy. So yeah, all in all, quite a decent unit. So she's not the best in melee attack or melee combat, as you can imagine, but for spell casting she can be very, very powerful. And as you progress her through the campaign, you raise her abilities and give her new skills. By the end of it, she will be a very, very powerful legendary lord, I can assure you of that. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the new units for Bretonnia. Very, very impressed with them indeed. Sorry that this has taken so long, but the majority of this video is to take a look in depth at these new units. But now we shall fight this battle, see them all in action. We are facing off against the Crooked Moon, one of the greenskin tribes, and hopefully they can win the day. But yes, as I say, I'm extremely impressed with what the new additions are for Bretonnia. I think they're excellently done and really now make them a force to be reckoned in, or reckoned with in battle. So here we go then, guys, with this battle replay. And I thought this was most definitely the best way to enjoy this battle with these new units today, because then I can zoom in, I can really get close up and personal in the action, and it will allow you to experience these new units in all their glory as they fight it out on the battlefield. Because if I was fighting it normal real time, I'd have to be microing, I'd have to be zooming out all the time, and it wouldn't give you that full flavour that I want you to get from this battle. So I'm going to predominantly play it in real time, but some of it I will go into slow-mo, so again you can take it in even more so. So we've got all our cavalry, as you would expect, on both flanks, supported by Royal Hippogriffs and Hippogriff Knights, and then the Royal Pegasus Knights over on the right hand side. We've got the strong infantry in the centre with the Battle Pilgrims and the Foot Squires on the right side. We've got the Men at Arms on the left, Peasant Bowmen going forward so we can get some shots off early doors. We've got Fey Enchantress over there, and as you would expect, leading from the front, we've got the wonderful, the magnificent Green Knight, ready as he looks across the field at the enemy, leading from the front there, as you'd expect. And we've got some peasant mob at the back there. We've also got the grail relic. Wherever he's gone, he is here, so he will keep very close to these battle pilgrims and these peasant bowmen as the battle carries on, just so he can keep up their leadership as much as possible, because they will need it. So let's play again as we march forward. Some shots will be coming off in a second from our blessed field trebuchets. Here we go, they're loading up for the first shot of the day. Here we go, let rip. Boom. Let's follow this one as the holy water goes down on the enemy. Going back to the Coupling Rock Lobby into the back, I think. Oh, good shot there. That was a good shot. Oh, into the enemy infantry there. We've got some shots from the peasant bowmen. Hello, what's this? This is the Night Shroud upgraded, so it's going to reduce our visibility range by 96% and our accuracy by 30. Nice spell, especially to be dealing on our peasant bowmen and our blessed field trebuchet. I don't think they've actually got affected by it. Only the archers, which is still again a good spell to initiate on them to reduce their accuracy even more. They've got poor accuracy as it is, but then that's going to be reduced even more. Look at that! Oh, got a bit of a misfire from the trebuchet, hitting our peasant bowman in the back there. Fucking hell, that's not good. So pushing forward now. We've got some combat over here. Slow-mo again. That's slow-mo again. We've got the Knights. Is it the Knights Errant? We've got the Questing Knights, sorry. And the Royal Hippogriff Knights combined with the Grail Guardians over here. So they're trying to push back the Savage Orc Big Uns. And the fact that the Questing Knights are there with their armor piercing damage will help massively against these sort of heavily armoured units, the shot cavalry that they've got. So this will hopefully allow the Questing Knights to get some damage off, some strong kills off against these cavalry units of the Crooked Moon, especially, as I say, with them having that armor piercing damage. And of course the Royal Hippogriff Knights, they are splendid. Their weapon strength is incredible, so hopefully they will help massively as well. Now the reason why I've gone into slow-mo a lot with this battle is because, as you can see, the battle is quite short. It's only 3 minutes 46, so you want to take in this clash for as long as possible, because if you don't, you'll blink and you'll miss it, basically. So let's play again. We're going to get some action on this right hand side now. These Knights Errant are going to try and drive back these missile cavalry units. Thing is, they're going to be probably outmatched here with the speed. However, the Knights Errant have actually picked up some pace here, and are actually keeping up with the missile cavalry, surprisingly. I wouldn't think they would have done, but they have, and they started to really push them back. Good work for the Knights Errant. I thought they wouldn't be able to keep up with them, but they have. That's good stuff there. And now the main clash has begun in the middle here. So we've got the Green Knight surrounded by Black Orcs. I mean, surrounded by them on every single front. He's enveloped by them. But to stop him, does it Hal? He has got the Dolorous Blade initiated, so it's going to increase his melee attack and weapon damage. He has not lost a single bit of health already, and he's been surrounded, as I say, by one of the best units that the Crooked Moon or the Greenskin factions can bring to the battle, and he's still doing absolutely fine. So that just shows how powerful the Green Knight is. A superb unit. Anytime you can bring him to the battlefield, it's a definite must. So the peasant mob, as you can imagine, they are having a bit of a horrid time against these units of Black Orcs. They aren't going to stand for much longer. But the Battle Pilgrims here doing okay against this unit of Nasty Scholars. And that's because, again, the Grail Relic is here, so he is inspiring his units around him. He's giving that leadership buff that we need, and that will help to keep these Battle Pilgrims and Peasant Mob going for a little bit longer. So that's good to see the Relic, or the Grail Relic, I should say, supporting as much as he possibly can. So that's excellent over there. Back over here, we've got the Royal Pegasus Knights engaging with the Orc Boar Boys here. So that's all. Look at that charge in slow-mo, sending them flying backwards. I love the slow-mo feature on this game. It makes it even more beautiful. So yeah, if you're liking the look of this sort of video, the fact I've gone into a lot more detail with these units today, more so than I usually do with a battle. I usually just fight it out as a replay and then showcase what's actually happening in the battle, and that's it. If you like me go into a little bit more detail about the units and what they are strong at, what they're weak at, then let me know in the comments. Drop the video a like. Tell me if you prefer it, because I like to be like this sometimes. I think it produces a better quality video for you, going into detail more, understanding your units, understanding your enemy better. So yeah, let me know. It'd be good to hear from you. So we've got now, as we go into normal mode again, we've got the men-at-arms pushing away this unit of Savage Orc Arrow Boys. So they're just doing a good job by pushing them away, allowing them not to fire. So the Battle Pilgrims are now pushing forward. They've pushed back the Nasty Scholars. They're going to try and again drive away the missile infantry in the middle there. Lancer power is a little bit in our favour now already, so that's good. The Grail Relic's helping out with the buffs here. Still holding strong against those Black Orcs. We've got Foot Squires over here. Now they're doing pretty well, combining up with. And now the Peasant Mob are holding here, probably because they're being supported so well by the Foot Squires. Savage Orc Biggins, Axe Infantry. Damage is being sustained there. They're losing decisively. The combination here is working in our favour really well. And that's where I should say, if you are going to use Peasant Mob, and sometimes even Battle Pilgrims, get them grouping together with units like the Foot Squires, because then they will become more effective together. Add the Grail Relic as well into that mix, and they will become an even stronger unit. Peasant Mob, who were originally a crap unit to have, cannon fodderers essentially, as I said to you before, can then suddenly become a little bit more effective. And then this would be perfect if you had, I know I haven't got it at the moment, but if you had a Grail Guardian unit coming round the back here, they will get absolutely smashed to pieces so quickly. So yeah, use your units together effectively, team them up, and you'll find better results will occur. So Green Knight, he has now, what's he done now? He's Flesh to Stone, 60 plus armor. That was initiated by the Fey Enchantress over there, so that's even boosted his armor even more so. He had the Glorious Blade in action before, increasing his melee attack, but now this will help him even more so with his armor protecting us there. So that's a nice buff from the Fey over there. In the middle, we're doing pretty well actually here. On the left flank, we're driving back the enemy units now with the Grail Guardians and the Royal Hippogriff Knights, wherever they've gone. And the Battle Pilgrims, are they still here? The Questing Knights, they are still here. So they are combining up with the Men-at-Arms here. So again, infantry and cavalry supporting each other nicely there. You've got some clashes going on down here with the Goblin Knights archers. And they are against the Battle Pilgrims. Look at that guy flying into that clash there. Beautiful. Boom. Oh god, his intestines going everywhere. Brilliant stuff. Let's go back up the hill here. Got the peasant bowmen firing in their pox arrows and their flaming shots. Reducing that hit points down. Reducing their damage. Or inflicting damage, as I say. Reducing their hit points down. Over here we've got victories in our grass. Wonderful. We're going to see this first. Oh, come on. This is perfect for an attack. They've let them go right past them. I don't think they've seen them. Basically, I didn't see them as I was fighting the battle, so that's a shame, because they would have been quite good to swoop down upon. Never mind. We're doing okay. We're doing a lot better than I thought I would do, actually. So, over here we've got units fighting off against the Biggins. This is the Knights Errant. Still, they pushed them away at the early part of the battle, and they're still fighting them over there, so that's okay. Don't want to really keep them in combat for too long. I mean, obviously the shot cavalry, you want to be using cycle charges with them, but still, it's okay. Oh my lord, what are these guys going to do? The goblins are swinging their ball and chains. They're hitting their own units here. Are they going to hit some of my foot squires? Oh my god, this is going to be horrendous if it hits across. It is! Oh, that's where the foot squires will come into an absolute pounding. They are damage dealers themselves, but god, the damage is being dealt on them today. Fucking hell, look at that. Boom! They are flying backwards. Let's go into normal speed again to go up the hill there. They've actually done a lot of damage there, but they've died now. Oh, good charge from the Orc boys there against my foot squires, but again, hold strong. You'll be okay. You will be okay. He's up on the hillside here, being pushed back now. Cavalry done a good job on the flanks there. They've done a good job of sustaining the enemy and pushing them away for the majority of this clash, actually. Surprising how quickly these cavalry units are of mine. I know they've got away there, but some of these are actually able to keep up with light cavalry, so I'm surprised at that, actually, because I think with night units there'd be heavy cavalry, maybe a lot slower, but they seem to be keeping up quite well. The speed of them is impressive. Knights Errant outmatching those Orc boys. Those Boar boys pretty effectively, actually. They're nice. Got Hippogriff Knights going down. Pegasus Knights, like you say, Hippogriff Knights, Pegasus Knights going down against that spear unit there, the goblins. Victories on our grasp here, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually done it. We've done it. The cavalry's been effective on the flanks. The infantry stays strong in the centre. Did the Grail Relic survive? He did, you know. I think he did. Or maybe he didn't. I'll have to look in a second. That's the Fey Enchantress down there. But I think even if he didn't survive, he would have supported those pilgrims in the middle very, very well indeed. I mean, they came under a lot of strain from the Orc boys and the Black Orcs, but still they fought on. Their cavalry were pretty impressive as well, driving away the enemy cavalry and keeping up with them. Especially I was impressed with that. So let's end the replay. Let's have a look at the battle statistics here. So in terms of our kills here, Knights Errant 81 and 41, 88 for the foot squires. They were pretty damn good in the end. The Grail Relic, did he survive? I don't know. It didn't tell me, unfortunately. Obviously, he didn't kill anyone, but he supported these chaps very well. I mean, look at that, 127 from one of the units of Battle Pilgrims. In fact, they were the best performing unit on the day for me. So, you know, hats off to them. Must have been supported well by the Grail Relic in the end. But yeah, excellent stuff. The peasant mob doing what I thought it would do, being expendable, not really doing anything in terms of kills. Men-at-Arms, again, they weren't too good either. It was the Battle Pilgrims and the foot squires which were better performing units as I thought it would be. So the bowmen doing okay. Blessed Field Trebuchet doing not too bad either. Cavalry not doing as well as I thought they would do. I mean, okay, that Royal Pegasus Knights did pretty well, 69. Christian Knights, okay. Knights Errant there, 81, as I say, they're the best for the Knights. But apart from that, not amazing. But the performances were there for majority of the units. They held their own, they kept the centre strong, and the flanks were pretty good as well, pretty solid. 1,323 losses for the Crooked Moon units there, 904 for me, so it's quite close in numbers. We had a little bit more at the beginning of the battle, and some of their units doing pretty well actually. The Nasty Scholars and the Black Orcs doing quite effective work, but in the end we won the day. The Green Knight, magnificent as we thought he would be, and yeah, all in all, a good battle. And I hope, as I said to you early on, you enjoyed me showcasing these new units to you in this manner. If you want to see more of this style of videos, then let me know in the comments. Drop the video a like, show your support. I hope you enjoyed the battle. I hope you enjoyed taking a closer look at the units before the actual battle began. And as always guys, you are amazing. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, take care and farewell.